What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. And today I want to talk about the current market because, well, we've been in a crazy bull market for the altcoins, and Bitcoin is doing some, well, it looks like the beginning of a correction, or at least it's going sideways right now. So I want to give you guys my opinion about the market, and um, yeah, so here we go. First, I want to start off with the market maker, which is Bitcoin. And as I said earlier in my last video, I think Bitcoin is due for a correction. And well, if you look at the one-day chart with the B bands, we actually saw some movement downwards and went all the way down to like 16,700. So on the one-day chart, you actually see some divergence. As you can see here, it went above the Bollinger Bands, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. If we look at the 3 days, it's actually still starting to correct. You see it went a little bit in the Bollinger Bands and it was bought up again. So I actually think that this is the start of a small correction or even bigger correction, because if we look at the 1 week, well, we haven't even started entering the Bollinger Bands yet. So possibly this is something like, well, maybe something like this. And so yeah, I think we're gonna see some downward movement. Now there's always a question, because Bitcoin is the market maker. When Bitcoin moves up, well, the altcoins, most of them go down. When Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down, and when Bitcoin goes sideways, that's the time when the altcoins start to make some movement upwards. And we've actually seen that in the last few days, that I think that everything was green. Like, it was kind of crazy. You saw a lot of double digits, triple digits on percentage-wise gains, and yeah, some of these coins actually made some really decent moves. And well, then there's always a question, which is what's going to happen next, right? Because when there's a big moves coming, well, it kind of scares us. Like if it goes up a lot or down a lot, just feels uncertain and makes you feel a little bit insecure. So this is where technical analysis comes in, and we try to understand the market emotion. Um, so I've actually have not been trading Bitcoin, as you might have guessed. I'm not the guy who shorts um, a cryptocurrency. I just don't feel confident enough to do that. And since we're in a bull market, well, you kind of have to take a lot of time in staring at charts, which I don't have time for yet. Um, but what I did have time for in the last month, 2 months, is looking at BCH, Bitcoin Cash. And well, for those who are familiar with the Wyckoff accumulation phase, Bitcoin Cash actually made it through a couple of those. Actually, right here, which is accumulation phase, and then we get a reaccumulation phase. So right now we're in the markup phase. As you can see, we made some very decent gains. Actually, got in this spring phase right here. Sold, I think about, where did I sold this? I think about 1500 or something. I got out again just to, well, look at the market and try to figure out what was going on. And I'm actually part of the Bitcoin Schmidtcoin Discord community. For those who are familiar with Schmidtcoin, he's a very, very great, well, teacher at least, and It's an amazing community, and we talk a lot about technical analysis, and recently a lot about Wyckoff and its accumulation phase, distribution phases, and sort of, well, trying to apply it to a lot of these charts, and it's been paying off like crazy, as you can see, because, well, I'm right now still trading Bitcoin Cash, and as you can see, it went up a lot in the past week. In the past 24 hours, it went up from 2100 to like all the way to 3800, and on some exchange, I think it was, I don't know which exchange it was, but it went even a lot higher. Um, but right now I'm looking at this bull pennant, which is kind of a crazy bull pennant. And if we look at the 5-minute charts, hold up. So what's what catches my eye is that from the last run up, we actually had a retracement of 50%, and then we had an automatic reaction all the way back to the 38.2, and yeah, we had some divergence until we had made the next move. And right now, with the last run up from last night, last 24 hours or something, we actually retrace back to the 50%, and you see some divergence on the 38.2. So I'm guessing we might see continuation of the trend, and that's being kind of crazy. If you look at the price, the amount of gains that you could have made with Bitcoin Cash, all the way from down here in the past few weeks. Yeah, I'm loving Bitcoin Cash right now. I really do. And since it's been, I think it started trading on Coinbase, which is very positive news. And I think there's a lot of positive news coming in the next months. So I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin Cash. And even though it already has reached my target, my initial target, I'm looking at this chart right now, waiting to see what's going to happen next. If it breaks out of this bull pennant, we might see another leg up, and if not, we might see some divergence, and waiting to see our next move. But in the long term, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin Cash right now. So yeah, for those who are thinking about buying Bitcoin Cash or selling it or whatsoever, you should look at this bull pennant and try to figure out what's going to happen next. I'm gonna make some more movies about um, about Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, I'll keep a close eye on it, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Um, for those who are still in PIVX, I've posted a chart on Reddit, and I've made this funnel on the well, it's been holding this chart pretty strongly actually. Even in the last bull run, we find some strong resistance on the ceiling around $7.80 and $8, and I think this is very interesting that it's kind of funneling and gaining a lot of market cap, and its growth has actually been very steadily, which is interesting, because I've been very bullish on PIVX from a fundamental reasons, and I bought in PIVX all the way, I think, around this point, around 60 cents, so somewhere around here, just after this initial crazy run. And well, I was lucky enough to experience this one, and ever since then I'm still holding PIVX because, well, I love Bivix for fundamental reasons. I think it's a great coin, and it has a lot of future potential. But it's keeping this it's respecting these lines for quite some time. I think when was this was around April last year. So it's like 6 months of respecting these this trend, and if we keep following this trend, the point of the $10 is on the 28th of January maximum, um, which is that's the point when we can reach the $10, and the absolute bottom will be $10 on the 4th of June, which is a great mark. It's yeah, it's just a great mark for anything, you know, round numbers. People love round numbers, so they love to stick to that. Um, so yeah, this is my video for now. I'm sorry for my broken English. It's not my primary language. It's my second language, and since I'm kind of new to making videos about cryptocurrency, especially not in my primary language, I'm having trouble finding the right words sometimes. So um, I hope you still find my videos helpful, and that you understand my charts. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always ask me on on YouTube in the comment section, and I will answer them. And yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about Bitcoin Cash and what I think is going to happen next, just ask me. And as always, keep level-headed. Don't get too emotional about your holdings or whatsoever. Try to be rational. And yeah, thank you. Bye bye.